So recently, Pikmin 4 was released, and leading up to it, I streamed through the first and the third games. Now, I didn't actually get around to playing the second game before launch. However, after playing through Pikmin 4, I decided to go through and play through the second game on my own time. Now, Pikmin 2 actually stands out among the other games because of its main mechanic, the dungeons. Now, a lot of people don't like the dungeon mechanic for this game due to it having quite a few flaws, such as some of them being super lengthy, being very similar to other dungeons, and the whole random generation thing. But hey, some of them are actually pretty fun and unique, such as the Glutton's Kitchen having kitchen and food themed stuff, Frontier Cavern being Christmas themed, Hole of Heroes being a boss gauntlet. There is a lot to offer. However, one dungeon in this game stands out among the rest. And, well, I thought I'd make a video talking about it, as not only is it my favorite dungeon in the game, but also one of my favorite areas in video games. The Submerged Castle. So, the dungeon we're talking about today is located in the Perplexing Pool, an area in which has a lot of water. Like, seriously, there's water everywhere in this area. Upon approaching the entrance, you're gonna notice something right off the bat. It is completely submerged in water, thus Submerged Castle, I guess. Which means you can only bring blue Pikmin into this dungeon. This is the only dungeon in the game that restricts you to a certain type of Pikmin. So already right off the bat, it has something unique that none of the other dungeons have. You might also notice that it has every single type of hazard in the dungeon, including electricity, which is insta-kill for anything that's not a yellow Pikmin. So yeah, this dungeon definitely, before even entering, already seems like it's gonna be one of a time. So with your blue Pikmin, you enter the cave, and, well, you're greeted by this. The music that plays in this dungeon is unique. It appears nowhere else in the game, and, well, in case you couldn't tell, it's really creepy. It gives off a sense of eeriness, and that something here is seriously not right. I absolutely love this song. It fits in so well with the atmosphere and for what's to come later on, and just stands out a lot in the Pikmin games due to it being so different from the rest of the soundtrack. Anyway, getting into the dungeon itself, this first floor mainly consists of a lot of fire traps, which can prove to be difficult since, once again, you only have blue Pikmin. There's even a fiery Bulblax you must defeat in order to get a treasure, which has a pretty unique puzzle where you have to lure it into the water to put out its flames and then attack it, which, pretty creative there, gotta love it. Another thing you might notice right off the bat is that on the first floor, they already give you a chance to leave the dungeon if you so wish. Yeah, cause that's not ominous or anything, the game actually being nice to you for once. Cause anyone who hasn't played this game is a jerk to you, constantly, and will punish you for making the smallest of mistakes. Besides that, though, there's not really too much to note of this first floor, so let's continue down to the second. The second floor has two gates on either side of your base, one leading to the exit and one leading to the treasures. There are some Bulbmen on this floor that will help you get past some of the traps in this dungeon, such as poison and electricity. So, definitely good to know that you aren't just completely restricted to blue Pikmin in this dungeon, because otherwise it wouldn't really be possible to beat this place, because poison can't be taken out without white Pikmin. So far, you probably think that the only mechanic of this dungeon is that you are restricted to blue Pikmin while having to deal with every single hazard. That's already, as it is, a pretty unique concept for a dungeon, and makes it pretty challenging. But, you know, that's not really anything too, like, grand to make this place seem like one of the best areas in gaming, like I was saying. What else could possibly be here? Yeah, this is the Waterwraith. This thing is not nice. Basically, what it will do is, after spending more than 5 minutes on any floor, it will spawn and will proceed to roam around the floor, and if it sees you, will chase you. If it touches any of your Pikmin, they instantly die. So yeah, now you have to deal with this thing chasing you around, roaming the floors, all the while you are constantly having to carry back treasure, defeat any enemies you didn't within the first 5 minutes, and just focus on all the hazards around, making this a very chaotic dungeon overall. The second you enter a new floor, your goal immediately is to kill any enemies, take out any traps, and hurry the heck up before this thing appears. Otherwise, it's gonna get really, really messy. This is also the closest thing to a time limit in any dungeon, as, like I said before, dungeons in this game don't have time limits. You have as much time as you want, which you also do here, but if you take too long, well... And the thing to top it all off is just the Waterwraith itself. To this day, we don't know exactly what the heck this thing even is supposed to be. We've had similar creatures like it appear in the other Pikmin games, as in Pikmin 1 having Bulblax and Pikmin 3 while having a giant chicken, which all of them have a striking similarity to each other. A lot of people think it's based off of the Umibozu, which is a mythological creature that would shipwreck ships at sea, steal the treasure, and kill the captain, which kind of makes sense considering in this game, you are, you know, Captain Olimar, and you're hunting for treasure, and it's hunting you down. Yeah, a lot of similarities there. This thing definitely makes an impression. Like, anyone who has played Pikmin 2 knows about this thing. Like, even people who haven't played Pikmin 2 know about the Waterwraith. It's that terrifying. And you have to deal with it for 5 floors. Speaking of which, how about we get on to those, because the Waterwraith is here, and oh my god! So, these next 2 floors, I've decided that we're gonna go over them both at the same time, for 2 reasons. 1, in the sake of, well, saving time, and 2, because, honestly, both these floors are pretty similar to one another, and they still have the same basic concepts. The 3rd and 4th floors are set up to essentially be labyrinths, being very maze-like and having very narrow hallways. So if the Waterwraith does show up, and you turn a corner and it is there, you don't have anywhere to go, essentially. They also put volatile dweevils and withering blowhogs on these floors, which are some of the most dangerous enemies in the game, as one of them is insta-kill for every Pikmin, and the other will slow your Pikmin down, making it harder for them to escape the Waterwraith. The further you go in this dungeon, the more chaotic it gets, which is what makes this dungeon so fun. It is a really fun challenge. It does have a sense of horror to it almost, as you have this stalker enemy you can't do anything about, and it stands out as being really unique among other dungeons. However, there is eventually a part where you can take down the Waterwraith. Upon reaching the final floor, immediately you're going to notice that there are some purple candy pop buds. You finally have access to a type of Pikmin that isn't blue or a Bulbman. It's very important you pick these up because guess what? It's required. Anyway, with nothing left to do, let's go into the boss arena. Oh, hey, look, an egg. I wonder if we're gonna get some nectar from it. Yeah, no, Waterwraith's back and he's out for blood. Well, you have purple Pikmin now. Yeah, this guy who has been slaughtering your Pikmin this entire time is weak against purple Pikmin. He is terrified of them, and will then take on a physical form, allowing you to damage him. Granted, he still will insta-kill your Pikmin if they are crushed by his rollers, but Due to the fact you are no longer in a narrow passages and hallways, and you're in an open field, he has a very difficult time to do that. After dealing enough damage, his rollers break, and he literally becomes Flubber. Like seriously, look at this! He literally looks like Flubber! So how's his second phase consist of? It literally is him running away in terror due to the fact he has no way to harm you anymore since he doesn't have his rollers. You know, it's kind of ironic in a way how this thing that's been causing you all these issues the entire dungeon is now the one running away in fear. Kind of poetic if you think about it. And when you beat him, he just explodes into nothingness. I wonder if we'll ever see him again.
Welcome to the rice fields.
I cannot stress enough how much I love the Waterwraith as an enemy. It is such a cool concept, and the mystery behind it just makes it even better. This thing is literally what makes the Submerged Castle such a great area. And in fact, I'm pretty sure even Nintendo knew how great this area was. Cause in Pikmin 4, they remade the Submerged Castle, except this time they called it the Engulfed Castle, and it shares a lot of similarities with it. The Submerged Castle is easily one of my favorite areas in video games, and I don't think that's going to be changing anytime soon. Well, I guess that's going to be it for this time. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, please do hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. And let me know in the comments what your thoughts on the Submerged Castle are. I'd really love to hear from you guys. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to be taking my leave now. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.